So if I see the right titles coming in, exactly who we are targeting, I feel confident to either scale up budget, scale out the audience size, or like geos or something like that.
I would love to understand how each of you approach testing audiences before you scale them and what exactly you're looking for. So Sidney, maybe we'll get started with you and run it back.
Yeah. I like to start very targeted. I like to start as targeted as I can to prove out that core audience. And then we can start maybe scaling that a little wider. Wider could be in terms of geographies. It could be in terms of like titles, like, okay, we're going to start at director and VP, or we're going to start at like our number one buyer. And I always start with job title targeting first. And then depending on the product and depending on the reach of the problems that it solves, we could potentially scale it if they have, something like a sauna or something, right? Like almost everyone can use something like that, right? We could scale, but that's not every product. So that's where I like to start. And then how I monitor if it's working and when we should scale is based, because we don't have a lot of wide audiences running at once. We start targeted, and then I look at all of the demo conversions coming in. I get emails on every single form fill into my inbox, so I can see real time, are these the right titles that I'm targeting, right? Because we're not going to have a lot of direct attribution. That's a whole nother topic we could have a panel on. We're not going to have a lot of direct attribution, especially on social. So we need to correlate that with what's actually coming in, maybe through organic and direct. So if I see the right titles coming in, exactly who we are targeting, I feel confident to either scale up budget, scale out the audience size, or like geos or something like that.
I love that. There was a lot of gold in there. Hana, how do you tackle this?
Yeah, I would even go one step before that if you have the time and the space to do so, because we know a lot of people don't. It starts small for sure, which I know Sidney was saying as well. And looking for that validation, I think, is really critical. So especially if it's a new, not only a new audience, but a new offering or a new, anything new that you're trying that isn't the market, it's not in the market yet. So really validate internally first, and then even go to people like advisors. Leverage those relationships that you have, especially if you're at a startup. Like, those are such powerful relationships where that's what they're there for. They're meant to help you work through these problems and share their experience and share their, if they are your target market, like a lot of our advisors are at that CMO level, and they have that experience. So when we're trying to figure out a new audience, they're the first ones that we want to go and ask, does this look right to you? Are we talking about a problem that you would actually, be interested in? And is this something that you can validate for us? And then even look towards your customers as well and try to gain some validation there. Like, I know that we worked through this problem last quarter. Would this be something that you would be interested in? Do you feel others in the space would be interested in? And then, so you kind of can work your way out in terms of scaling. And then you can go to even thought leaders. So like when we started Marketing Ops Confessions, we kind of went through this process, and then we got to thought leaders and started talking to thought leaders and say, hey, you're in this space, you're the expert, like, you tell us, is this something that you're interested in? Do we expand the audience here? Do we keep it to just marketing ops? So you get that really relevant and kind of like unsolicited advice there too. And then, as Sidney was saying, you can move out a little bit broader, but really focus for that MVP, like just put something out there and start with that main audience, and then look for ways to grow it. And that's kind of the process that, like I said, we followed with Marketing Ops Confessions.